You're listening to Rhodey and Linnelli with Richard Rodewalt and Greg Linnelli.
Another
This is unfortunate.
group of people snake bitten, the St. Louis Rams fans. And these guys, I feel for them. I know how they feel.
Yeah, I was going to say, if anybody knows how they're feeling right now, it's you. Now, Cleveland had more of a history, I think, right, with their fan base and their population. I mean, St. Louis, I don't know if you necessarily think of them as a football town, but they had a football team, Rhodey. And it was taken away from them last night. And you know what sucks? I think it's the young generation, right? The young kids coming up that just started to follow football, that Aaron Donald was their hero. I'm overstating it, but you identify yourself with some of these players, and then all of a sudden your team leaves. There's a connection there with your team and a fan base.
No, there absolutely is. And, Ben Bishop, Lightning goalie, took to Twitter, and he was thrilled that they were, able to beat Kroenke's hockey team on the day that he...
Yeah, he's a big St. Louis guy from the area. Yeah.
So it sucks for that fan base. I feel bad for that fan base. This is why I feel most bad, though, because you're taking a team out of a city that does have a fan base. You talk about attendance, whatever. It's always about the stadium and that deal. But you're now relocating it to a place that isn't going to have a better fan base, so to speak. You're moving it to a place for the away team so that you can draw the away team's fans in a place like L.A. with the Patriots or the Cowboys or the Packers, a place like that has so many transplant fans. And we see it down here in Tampa, how Raymond James is 50-50 every game with Bucks fans or the other team, if that. Yeah. That's what's going to happen in L.A. now. You're going to build a facility for the away team's fans, and that sickens me as a fan. It would make me angry if I knew the team owner and the goal of the city was to provide a better experience for the fans of the team that's visiting our city, not our local product.
And it's unfortunate because a lot of the owners felt that way, not in terms of how you're feeling, but the other way, that this is about money, this is about benefiting the league, and they had no problem voting against this move.
Well, and guess what they'll have there now? They'll have a Super Bowl. The stadium will be built in 2019. I'll bet you the Super Bowl's there in 2019 or 2020.
Do you think that's what this pretty much was all about?
It's about getting a stadium and a venue in L.A., yes, regardless of what team went there. They don't care. Especially when you're going to take and put two teams, you move the Chargers up there. You're just assuring that an away team, there's going to be something going on. The reason for two teams in LA is so that you have an event at that stadium every single weekend. So that it's not empty. When the Chargers are away, the Rams will be home.
So why did they get rid of it in the first place?
It didn't work. The stadium was old.
It's a logical question, right? I mean, so they're assuming the new stadium.
Yes.
But as we've known, Rhodey, over the years, and Roger Goodell, I keep going back to this. Roger Goodell has said it is a concern in some places that attendance is down. And you know the way TVs are right now.
Yeah.
And the cost of going to a game. What makes you think if you build a roller coaster in a stadium, and I'm obviously
it's exaggerating, all those bells and whistles.
Right. It's still going to cost a pretty penny to go. And oh, by the way, LA, the cost of living out there is extremely high.
Enormous in California.
So what makes you think if you give me all the bells and whistles and you have a Harry Potter ride out there, that's going to make people enjoy going to the game more?
Harry Potter himself could fly in on a broom and it wouldn't matter.
To me, this is a bad decision from the standpoint of I think a lot of people would rather watch games on TV than go to a game.
You're going to get a bunch of events. To me, this is what it comes down to. It's a 15 to 20 year deal. Once this stadium is considered old, like they are now, the Falcons are building a new stadium. That thing's only 20 years old. Once the stadium is considered old, both teams will relocate again. More than likely back to where they just came from.
Isn't like you think of the NFL, you don't think of teams constantly moving.
No, you don't.
You think of stability, right? You think of
you would like to.
You would like, and I guess maybe you think of, the Steelers. You think of, the Patriots. You think of, well, you thought maybe with the Cleveland Browns, and then they ended up moving. I guess maybe for me, I just looked at the NFL as more stable than this.
I'm with you.
And the whole thing, look, history tells us something. Learn from the past. If it didn't work 20 years ago, 30 years ago, what makes you think it's going to work now just because you have better infrastructure?
But when And that's what it is, they see an opportunity to go out there and make money over the next 10 to 20 years, and then they know, with the way the NFL is, you start dangling that carrot, cities are going to... San Antonio, why not put an NFL team there? In 20 years, when LA is done and they've made as much money out of this venue that they can, you go to a San Antonio, you go to a Vegas, you go somewhere else where they're willing to pay the relocation fee, and then boom, you just got another market to buy into it.
That was the Rhodey and Linnelli Show. Catch them every week on Stitcher, TuneIn, and RadioInfluence.com.